Welcome back, everybody, here to your coverage of the DOTA 2 Champions League. I'm W1.
And I'm the Capitalist.
And we are back here again for game number 2. What has been a vast game number 1. Sigma, maybe now they pull the Navi of every first game must be a loss and like a one-sided loss.
And a very convincing loss at that. But still, I mean, I thought that it looked like Navi was going to 3-0 from that first game that we had. But that obviously wasn't the case. So let it just be said, Sigma definitely capable of big comebacks. So game 1 is a wash, whatever. They just deal with it. They just like kind of erase it from your mind. Go into the game 2 thinking, Speed Gaming had a game 1 advantage. That's what it was. They started out with the game up. Game 1 never happened. Let's just not even talk about that.
Speed Gaming already had a huge advantage. Like these guys, they went 4-0 during their group stage. Got an auto berth into the semi-final. So they literally have to play 4 best-of-1s and 2 best-of-5s. And if they win them all, take home $25,000 plus the 25% of the revenue made from the tickets.
Teams love those sort of tournaments where they're able to play well and they get rewarded with less games. It just, it's just less work for more money. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Toby. Sing. He's throwing arrows. He's hitting arrows.
The question is, though, can he get the combination? Because we always talk about Miranda needing some level of setup. Like the older setup, like the old-fashioned way of doing it was actually with an SD. So you go with a disruption into the arrow. Bane became the new thing because of the Nightmare. It's a lot easier at time. And then you also have the other options like Crystal Maiden. Obviously, it doesn't work as well if you have a Live Stealer because you're not going to connect the arrow with that one. But maybe we could also see him appear. Like, there's no reason. Sing Sing takes it middle lane with the Mirana. You get Live Stealer up on that top lane. You've already got a leap in initiation as well then. So as a leap in to an infest damage to a Starfall. Gives them a lot of different options. But we don't even have a support hero up yet for Speed Gaming. And a lot of the key coordinator ones is out. And we're going to go with the signature hero that got banned out last game. So the Clinks is now being picked up right now for Eternal Envy.
Well, I'm really excited to see this one. Obviously, everybody's talked about Eternal Envy's success. Speed Gaming doing really, really well with Clinks. Watch out supports on Sigma because there is no place safe against a Clinks. Even that Mirana, I mean, you were talking about how Mirana needs setup in order to hit that arrow. Sometimes I feel that Sing Sing is his own setup, man. Just his positioning. His arrows, they're always on target. I don't know how he does it, man. It's just amazing to watch. But still, Sigma, they're going to go for something that's a little bit more typical. Crystal Main and going for the Clockwork once again. Even though it didn't work out well for them last game, they're still going to pick up the Clockwork and obviously one of the best supports in the pool right now. Crystal Main, very, very high priority support in the meta.
Yeah. She's always up there, man. She's always up there. The downside right now is she could always be 6 feet under when Clinks gets a lot of farm. And you can say goodbye to the Crystal Maiden. You can probably say goodbye to the Clockwork as well. His issue, he pops off cogs to try and keep the Clinks away, but we know the way Eternal Envy plays. We know he goes with a Blink Dagger, and he'll just basically jump himself around those cogs and keep up with the Clockwork. And there's no other escape mechanism beyond that. It's almost like right now, like Speed Gaming or Sigma needs someone just that can just jump in and help him out. And I kind of want to point that one hero out that hasn't been touched just yet. Nature's Prophet is not picked or banned here in the first 4 bans or on the first 2 pickups. This is almost insanely, well, I wouldn't say it's uncharacteristic. Maybe a little bit of Sigma because they were always one of those teams that enjoyed their split push. But for Speed Gaming, not really there. Like, it's Bone 7's kind of like, initially when he played that hero on the offlane, no couriers were safe anywhere. This guy would just scout them everywhere you went. But
10 seconds.
It's a new day. It's a new meta.
Yeah, and I don't think we're going to see it this game either. I mean, Furions are used to dealing with Clockworks, but it's still a tough hero to be able to deal with. And then also, Sigma not going to pick it up because Clinks is extremely good. A squishy hero like Furion, who's susceptible to Orchids, that's just free food right there. So I doubt we're going to see either team pick it up this game, but it is interesting to talk about the fact that we're just not going to see him in these first 2 games. Batrider and Puck being banned out by Speed Gaming, no surprise. You got to take away those. You got to address Feta. You really do. You got to take away some of his really good aggressive heroes. And again, Lifestealer is still in the pool, so it's a possibility that Sigma may want to run the same kind of lineup, try it out again. And so taking away some of those big initiators that Feta is really good with, it works.
This is a ballsy play from Sigma. This could backfire so badly on them right now. They're going to attempt a Wisp Tiny combination. This is what this kind of has to be. They could try with CK, but I'm not liking their chances. Like, you've still got a basically an animated stunt that's going to fly through the air. There's ways for speed gaming to evade this kind of stuff. The Tiny would be then tower pushing, but you've got a Crystal Maiden as a supporter. So it's like, it's almost like it has to be a CK and not a Tiny, but yeah. I'm just wondering right now from Sigma what their game plan is here. You kill people and then you do what? That's why, like, it kind of has to be the time to push down the towers. If it's a CK, you must continue killing and never stop.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's questionable what they're going to do here because you are picking up a Wisp against two heroes that are extremely good at being able to dodge Wisp ganks. Mirana has Leap, Moonlight Shadow. Clinks has his Invis, which makes him super, super fast once he gets the levels, and he's also probably going to pick up Blink Dagger. So, again, no surprise it's Tiny. They do need the pushing power. That's probably their best choice here, but Clinks does really well versus Tiny. Orchid, on top of that, he's got heavy physical damage, so until Tiny actually has that armor coming out from an AC or something like that, he's just going to clean through Tiny's health so quickly.
Yeah.
Timbersaw as well. Timbersaw loves going up against strength heroes and also has an escape mechanism versus that Wisp relocate.
And has a way to survive when the Wisp relocate comes in. Like, it's not even just the fact you have to run. It's like, I can stand and fight with the Timbersaw.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm still waiting for the Prophet to come into this pool, but with the Timbersaw, you don't really need it as much anymore. But we don't even have the supporters from Speed Gaming. The Chen's been banned out, the Lich has been banned out, Enchantress is still a possibility. With this jump in, I don't really feel the Enchantress is a better pick in this case. They need to have a little bit more level of control. I'd almost say you should look towards the Enigma in this game. Ooh, I mentioned it during the Mirana, like, last combos.
You know, and I was going to say, I really miss Shadow Demon, man. I love that hero. He's one of those big playmakers, right? He sets up really good combos, but he also has the option of being able to make those really good defensive plays. Save that hero right before a nuke comes in, save your ally with a good disruption. Beautiful. So I'm really glad to see him. He's going to be comboed up with the Mirana, as you said earlier. But also there are other heroes, right? Clinks and Timbersaw will both be able to benefit, not as much, but they'll still be able to benefit from a good Shadow Demon setting them up. And that extra damage with Timbersaw's burst or Clink's physical damage, man, watch out. Sigma, every single one of these heroes is squishy. Clockwork, Tiny, both of them, they're going to go down like support heroes.
I'm wondering if one of the guys in the chat called it, and like, he's gone full on classic as far like GG well played calls out like it's got to be Leshrac next. Like, look for the combination with the SD. I'd actually go as a combination of a Lina. And the reason why I'm throwing Lina out there is because I'm looking at burst damage that can pick off either the Crystal Maiden or the Wisp. Now, normally we've seen Lion's Finger of Death do that kind of thing, but you also want to have a combination so you can have roaming support skank around. Now, you can use a Lion, you could use the Lina. These are the kind of, like, it's the older school combinations. And more importantly, you can do aggressive tri-lanes and push down lanes with Lina. You get Arcane Boots up on her, you throw out one Light Strike away and one Dragon Slave, and all of a sudden the creep wave is toast. Throw off one Light Strike array and let off a Starfall, Mirana gets all the last hits, and the creep wave is toast, and you just push and push and push and push and push and push.
You know, I started laughing because I thought you were actually talking about Nig Dog. Huge lag in Zimbabwe. Please restart stream. That's what I was laughing. I saw that, I thought it was hilarious.
There was one guy having trouble in that. And actually, no, there was one guy that said, the stream is fine in Antarctica. And I'm like, wonderful. Wonderful.
That's what we want to hear. Beastmaster picked up from Sigma, so you got the Initiator. Okay, this is something that they really need on Sigma. They really need some really good Initiator for some of these Wisp relocates. They've got Clockwork to be able to set up some of them. They've also now have Beastmaster, right? So when they go for the Wisp relocate, there should already be a stun on that hero, so they're guaranteed to actually be able to follow up and be on top of those heroes. So Clinks and Mirana might not be able to get away. Speed, wow, where did this come from? What the hell? Okay, but this is interesting, right? Good defense. This is kind of what they needed. I was good with another support. I don't think they could have gone a jungler here because you're talking about some push lineup coming out from Sigma, especially with the Beastmaster aura now. But they needed some kind of defensive hero. Treant Protector, going to be able to help out for a lot of these squishy heroes, Clinks and Mirana.
It's the perfect hero, really. At the end of the day, it's the perfect.
You mean Living Armor is the perfect skill.
Yeah, because it means that on this bottom lane, like Timbersaw can now almost go solo. I kind of actually don't want even to go solo. I want him to be like this dual lane kind of style again. But Sing Sing in the middle lane's going to be fine. Envy's going to be up on the top lane doing great. Tree could just pull and find some quick early levels up on living armor, and then you got like even the tower damage. If Tiny's going to TP in there with the ulti, he's not going to have enough time to bring down the tower. The living armor is going to block off a little bit of that damage, and a little bit may seem like not really enough, but it's going to be enough that for the duration of the Wisp ulti, you can't just instantly destroy a tower. And then you're going to wait 60 seconds to come back there again. That's another, what, 3 living armor charges to bring the tower back up again? So Fader, yeah.
Well played, Fader.
He is such a troll, man. Yeah, have you actually? Actually,
no, I've never actually talked to Fader.
Oh, that's a shame. If you were at TI2, Fader was. Fader was at TI2. He was playing in Mouse Sports then, I think.
Yeah, I was there. I just don't think I ever got the opportunity to talk with him.
He's a funny kind of guy. He's a guy that has a very like, he doesn't like to take a serious look at the world. He even drew me like a front page of Join Dota and like made me a private Bloodseeker. It couldn't be ever described as a Bloodseeker.
And combined with Sing Sing, who's saying that Envy has muted everybody in the game. Oh, I hope they all chat like this all game. But we're going to have action in the jungle.
Yeah, look at them. We've got the guy that's like loop-de-loop. Fader's going to cut through the tree line. And now the actors, they connect on 4 players. Both swing forward and back. Envy, he's very low on life. And he leveled up Searing Arrows to start with the Avalanche. Hits on most of Speed Gaming and Envy. Now he's backed up and Sochki's in the corner. They got him. He gets burnt up. Tiny pushes him down. Fader will die in the tree line. Tether back in again. Bone 7 now takes the fall as well. 2 for 1. Miguel is so low on life, but Owie 2000, he went lead seed to start with. So they don't even have the living armor for this fight. Pylite die. Disrupts up on top of the one hero who's attacking to Miguel. He's fighting up against himself. He can't kill him off with it. Pass managed to tether in, and it slowed him down enough that he was able to get rid of them before he died. 4-1 in favor of Sigma Gaming. Welcome to game number 2.
Oh, God. The 0-minute mark, and they're already Sigma is up by 1,000 gold and about 600 experience. And Fader throws out the good luck, have fun after that. Oh, my goodness. That was just no surprise. That was really good setup by Sigma. The fact they started out with the Beastmaster hitting 4 heroes with the axes, both axes, and then CM being able to follow up with the Nova. Immediately, you're like, oh, God. Every single one of our heroes has taken so much damage, and you've got a couple of heroes that don't do a whole lot early on. Well, Tree actually picked up Leech Seed level 1. That's decent, but still. There was just Paris being able to follow up with a 2-man stun on top of that. There was just, once they had that initiation of both of those abilities hitting so many heroes, they were guaranteed to win the team fight, I feel. That skirmish was going to go their way.
The only thing, though, is like they just managed to win the team fight 4-1, but they've got to keep the momentum after that. Like Miguel currently, like he managed to live through that, so he hit level 2, but he took a long time before he was able to get back up towards the top lane, because he went back to base and then TPs himself up. So it took some time before he started getting himself in range for the experience. So because of that, Envy's got a little bit of a head start up on that top lane. And now on the bottom lane too, Sing Sing's down here, so for one of the very few times we see him not going for the solo mid, that's where we see Bone 7 taking the solo mid. And he's 5-0 up against his Beastmaster, who's obviously 9-3 and looking good, but when that kind of stuff happens, Fader's going to burn through a lot of his consumables. That bottle is normally going to be fully empty, while Bone 7, he doesn't have to regenerate as much because he has this living armor. He's all good to go. And this bottom lane is so far off the lane, it's not funny. Like, Sochka hit level 2 after the fight, and he still hasn't hit level 3 down here on the bottom lane. He's gone 1-0 as far as CS. He's about to double his CS right there with that one last hit.
Yeah, this is something that Fader's pretty much going to have to either get some really good runes, which it looks like he will be able to pick up the damage rune, double damage rune. That's great.
Lucky devil.
Yeah. But he also set himself up for success because he's keeping the courier there. Sochka used the courier originally to get his bottle to him, so he didn't get the bottle as fast at middle. But he's going to have to constantly get this out because Bone 7, that Whirling Death, level 2, just does so much damage to a melee strength hero like Fada. It's unbelievable. So much harassment is going to come out from that. Until he's about level 6, Beastmaster's probably going to have to
should be really careful coming in that close. Like, I know the new creep wave's on the way in, but disruption into an arrow with the catcher as well, which is the second ability Pylite I got. He can lose a lot of life very, very quickly. And Owie, he's now got living armor as well, so diving in a little bit deeper is not as much of a problem. for both Bone 7 as well as for Eternal Envy, who just keeps having all of his mana burnt off here by Miguel. He's going to pick himself up like 2 Sage's Mask right now to have any kind of chance of popping off another Searing Arrow.
That's really well played. Miguel did the right play there, getting really, really aggressive on Klinks. He burned away all of that Searing Arrow mana, meaning that Envy is probably going to miss a couple of CS because he's not able to afford using Searing Arrows on creeps. So he may miss a little bit of CS, but at the very least it means Miguel's not going to be taking nearly as much harassment anymore. So really smart play by him after what is really a bad start. I mean, that you talked about it. He didn't get into lane, so they are even on experience. And on top of that, he picked up 3 assists.
Miguel, he got close enough in on Envy. Envy will pop off the stick charge and then goes invis.
Smart.
And Miguel's like, wait, Envy, not so smart. Don't walk out until the cog's gone. Meanwhile, up on top lane, Avalanche will fly out and Pylai die. Couldn't get the combo, and the arrow will connect onto Tiny. So there's going to be no follow-up on this one. Pylai just run. The Nova is slowing him down. There's still lead seed available for Aoi 2000, but he does not want to trigger it, but he's got to. He does it over on the Wisp, and the Wisp also taking damage from the tower. One last attack from Sing Sing. At this point, I'm going to say that's semi worth it. I say only semi.
Yeah, it definitely would have been worth it if Sakshka hadn't thrown the Wisp. I mean, that was kind of unnecessary. He didn't really need the damage, and at the very least, he didn't need to hit the toss right away. So he could have chosen another target than the Wisp, who had just got leech seeded, so he was slowed down, so he stuck around inside of that tower for even more damage. Oh, Sing Sing! That disruption may end up killing him here.
Maybe. Yeah, It does. Tiny's able to get the last little swing in on that one.
It's not necessarily Pylai's fault. I mean, the orbs may have still killed him. It just lined up the kill. If he had been able to dodge some of the avalanche damage or something like that, that's the play you're looking for. Unfortunately, Pylai didn't really have a good choice.
Beastmaster's going to die here in the middle lane. Or maybe he won't. There's no Timber Chain for Bone 7.
Oh, this may be a turnaround here. Bone 7, can he really go back to the tower? Oh, yeah, he's going to sneak back through.
There's a disruption on bottom lane. That's over on the Tiny. Sing Sing. He's still got arrows. Actually, no, he doesn't. Arrows already been used. I was wondering why disruption's coming and no arrows flying.
This whole entire advantage, this is where Wisp is really powerful. If he's able to get an experience advantage in lane, he's actually not that bad of a support because those orbs just do so much damage. The spirits, amazing amount of damage. As long as you have an experience advantage, you can actually bully aggressive tri-lanes pretty easily. And this lane, especially a Treant lane, that is not a nuking hero, right? His nuke Leech Seed, a lot of damage over time. It's a decent ability, but you'd much prefer to have something like you were talking about earlier, Lina or Leshrac. If you're going aggressive tri-lane, you're trying to really take down these heroes. They could have maybe made a comeback in this lane that way, but there's just no way. There's too much damage on Sigma. Once they hit level 3 before Speed Gaming does, it's very, very easy matchup for Sigma at that point.
Yeah. But I still want to keep my eyes on these other lanes because that top lane too, like, it's actually stayed a lot closer than I really thought it was going to. Miguel's already cracked level 6.5 now up against MV 6.5, so the CS is rather even too. Like, it's 26 for 6 up against 20 for 3. And there's not really that much in it. And the first smoke movement, Fader, he wants the regeneration rune. Raw will be used on Pylai die. Arrow will fly down, connects onto Bucking Mad, living armor, and now also into disruption. He's not going to survive through this one. The balls get pulled in close from pass, and they just pick off the SD for the contesting of the regeneration rune.
This was really smart. They knew there was enough room in order for Mad to leave the lane, so he goes middle, smokes up Fada, so they can actually get that early rotation from Beastmaster as soon as he hits level 6. I mean, you're going to catch some heroes off guard if you're going to smoke to your side lane like that. So they were going to catch a lane off guard because of that, but then on top of that, baiting out the regen rune to get Shadow Demon close enough was a really good play as well. So smart decision-making by Sigma in Game 1, as we may see Miguel. He's going to gank by the mid as well.
And it's the same timing. Oh, wait, no.
Oh, no.
Bone 7 didn't check it. Like, he's checking over towards the side, but I'm surprised he didn't just work out that he's just going to do the hard camp pull over from there.
Unfortunate timing there. He may still get a chance because he knows he's probably going to try and farm up those neutrals.
He wasn't spotted. It's nighttime. That one creep when he came up, it means he didn't spot out the Timbersaw over on the side tree line. But knowing that it's like someone, like Pylai Dyer is currently farming up middle lane, you can make the call that somebody is missing right now.
You know, this is something you don't normally want to do in your offlane anymore because it allows, like, look at Eternal Envy. He's picking up so much extra experience because of that. Sure, he pulls the lane back, but at the same time, you're feeding a lot of extra gold and experience to that Klinks, which is something you don't normally want to do. But it worked out beautifully when Bone 7 happens to be rotating over to get a gank. So, Klinks is going to be able to pick up Soul Ring. Soul Ring is picked up, so he's going to be able to spam out his Death Pact as much as possible in the jungle.
This is the envy build. Like, look for the Soul Ring. He might complete up the Ring of Aquila, but then as early as he possibly can, the Blink Dagger pick up. With the Orchid, of course. But that's just the brilliant combination for Murder. Invis Rune on bottom lane won't be selected. They just keep on going with their smoke. But this is a straight-up gank onto the Tiny. Pylai Die, Disruption, Catcher, Arrow, connects perfectly. Leech Seed, Tiny, life points evaporate. Throw Arrow, hit Arrow, while up on top lane. Whoa, whoa, whoa! He didn't mean to timber-chain into that one. And he'll die on this top lane Bone 7. The Creep Wave will, in fact, get the last hit on him there. So it becomes a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, I mean, they gank the Tiny, but Sigma, they're doing the right thing. They're smoking up. They're doing the same thing, exact same thing as Speed, and they're going to be able to take a tower off this. Meanwhile, it's not really looking to be the same for Speed Gaming. I mean, maybe they could pick it off with the Clinks, but if they want to, they could easily glyph up
that
and maybe teleport.
Oh, did it? Sing Sing pinged it out. There's another TP coming in. It's going to be the Tiny to connect up with Pass. And they're trying to find an Avalanche. Owie 2000 already cops 4 balls.
Oh, look at top.
Yeah, you're right. Timbersaw already with the Whirling Death. They get the kill over on the Clockwork. Disruption, trying to save Bone 7 from a little bit more pain coming out from Fader. But not going to happen. And now the Purge. Mad, the arrow. He moves back up again. It's amazing you're able to dodge the arrow when you're moving at that movement speed.
Yeah, smart decision making there. By especially the boar going forward, he was going to try and intercept the arrow, but at the very least he could slow down any sort of pursuers like Timbersaw, keep him in range, keep him from getting too close with the Chakram.
Bottom lane.
Yeah, you look at him. This is how Eternal Envy, he's able to farm up the enemy jungle and not slow down in gold and farm at all, but still be in really good position to get successful ganks like this.
Well, he's going to do it. There goes your ulti out from the tree, and Pass, you can't tether away from that, which means Parasoshka got to remain there. Avalanche toss, but he takes very little damage because of that death pack from before. And the Searing Arrows just dropped Tiny from his 1100 down to about 200 life points. Has to use his wand charges and retreat back out again. And the more this keeps happening, the less towers that are going down, the longer this Aghanim Scepter plus one item, be it Hand of Midas, be it Drums, gets delayed.
Yeah, this is really unfortunate. This is really unfortunate for Tiny. I think Sigma, I mean, the last time they did this, they were getting something else. They were trying to get a tier 1, got a hero kill, that sort of thing. But they really need to protect Tiny. They can't afford to trade him for something else because Speed Gaming, they've got multiple cores, right? They've got Clinks, Marana, and they even have Timbersaw as something to talk about in the late game. Meanwhile, Sigma, they're depending pretty heavily on this Tiny as being their hard carry. Beastmaster is a decent semi.
Jumps in on Sing Sing with bodies coming as well, but Sing Sing's already leaped away. The
toss
they got it. Is up a long way. The balls, they need to be a lot bigger, and they got him.
Nice.
The maximum radius. And Marana goes down, but Io almost didn't finish that job right then. Like, that could have been a lot worse. Now in middle lane.
Oh,
NV,
no.
They're coming in. Shagbuck, Sharktrum. They clean it up when they pick up the courier. That had an Ogre Club on it. That had Soshka's Ogre Club.
Oh, wow. That's really unfortunate. That is really unfortunate. And because of this, Speed Gaming, they recognize the fact that they have successfully, with the ganks on Tiny, they successfully stopped any potential for an early push coming out from Sigma. Now, they'll still have a good push in the mid game, but you won't see a super early farm Tiny that's pushing down your towers too quickly. So a Midas pickup on Clinks is actually going to be pretty beneficial. He knows he has time for it.
I can still hate him for it. Crystal Maiden runs away from Eternal Envy. Had some Searing Arrows with the strafe. And Crystal Maiden drops from her 606 to 150. I just thought she got hit by some kind of burst damage. I didn't realize it was like 3 Searing Arrows dropping her.
Yeah, that was Envy just seeing if he could pick up the kill. If not, whatever. He just goes back. Any health that he loses, he's going to just go back to the jungle, Death Pact another creep. And actually, he's going to wait around for the 12-minute rune. See if he can fill up his bottle first.
It's going to be up on top. There'll be Illusion Rune going the way of Bone 7. And he kind of needed to fill up his bottle as well. It was completely, like, he needed his life points. While Sing Sing is being babysat. You notice also, like, this is what I was talking about with all these towers. The Living Armor's working overtime from Aoi right now.
Yeah,
like
it really is.
He's healing up the top, he's healing up the mid, he's healing up the bottom. This was always going to be that downside. I remember when the ability first came in, and it was like, I don't know if I can use like the time frame of like it was Starlighter Season 4 that it came out, and like that change up when it was like global and it could be used on buildings. And I remember I sat there with Puppy and Goblek and we were both just like shaking our heads, just going like, oh, what is this ability? Like it can heal buildings. Because it basically meant to us, if you don't push and you're not successful at bringing down the tower, you won't claim the tower. Like top lane, we have 3 heroes pushing down this tower. The new creep wave's on the way in, but it's not enough damage to instantly kill off the tower. And even if they do, it becomes a trade-off. Bone 7 and Pylai Die are beating down this tower in the mid lane. There's no fortification for speed. They have the options to TP. But now there's TPs coming from Madden towards the middle lane. They're going to force both the Timsaw as well as the SD back while Envy's on the hunt. Death pacting down Centaurs. And the tower goes down. Surprisingly, Speed decided to let it go.
Yeah, this is really, really smart. I mean, this is a tree pickup. Later on, they won't be able to stop some of these pushes. Once Tiny has Aghanims, you're just clean up towers really, really easily. You're able to guarantee it. But these early pushes, like you were talking about, these rotations into taking tier 1s, Sigma hasn't been able to pick up any gold off of that. And it's the reason that Sigma's gold isn't just skyrocketing. I mean, if anything, Speed Gaming should be ahead right now, if not for that level 1 fight.
This move has been wonderful from Pass as well as Paris. They used them around ulti, Speed Gaming, to try and find them. So the one time that we saw Clinks walk down on the right-hand side of the tower, we just saw Wisp as well as Tiny head this direction, out of vision. And then when we saw Sing Sing come down this side, they then walked themselves back over this direction. So both times, they weren't even visible to the enemy. But this time, though, Sing Sing will get caught out. Avalanche, toss, tree ulti, trying to help him. It's a leap away to a TP. The balls will be coming in, but Sing Sing's able to TP himself away to safety. While Bone 7 trying to stay away. Is that Klink's way? He just managed to find one. He's going to find two.
That damage.
What the hell?
Double damage, plus Death Pact, plus Pylai Die having a level 4 Soul Catcher, meaning Tiny just gets like 3 shot from Klink's. And let's not forget the no armor on Tiny as well. Or excuse me, 1 armor.
And now this tier 1 tower is going to go down as well. Like, there's no strafe, but the damage output from Eternal Envy is more than enough. And also, I realized the irony in somebody who was like talking about that map awareness. I missed that. Arrow's going to fly to Bucking Mad. Clockwork latches in, but he misses on Bone 7. And then Timber Chain back up again. Starfall, there's a Wisp ulti on the way in. And he does bring down the Timbersaw. But double TP's on the way. Soshka remaining. He's got Avalanche and Toss, so he's got the combination. The first TP is cancelled. Eternal Envy will arrive, and Bone 7 brought back to be the secondary TP. Someone's dropped the dust on the deck. I don't know if that's meant to be a bait item or something. Mad just doesn't have space for it. Sentry Ward would be probably a good thing to drop and take that dust. Because they don't know that Speed Gaming have a sentry, have an observer on the other side of the river.
I'm not really sure what's up with that.
Mad's dead.
Weird.
Sentry. Oh, no. Envy. Oh, he wants the Death Pact. That's the reason why. He didn't have enough damage at the time.
If he doesn't continually Death Pact, then there's a really good
Mad
chance he dies to
tossed
any
in
combo.
the leap away from Sing Sing. It's a very good thing that Mad doesn't actually, like that toss doesn't follow the target during a leap.
Yeah.
Or else he would have been very deep in, well, crap, really, under the tier 1 tower of the Dire side.
I think Eternal Envy here is going to be able to pick up the Blink Dagger before we're talking about Orchid here. I mean, I don't think there's any real necessary need. When he's already hitting, he's cleaving through these heroes so quickly anyway, he doesn't necessarily need the Orchid. I mean, yes, it would help.
The thing I'm worried about is the mana pool. But that'll be my biggest gun. Miguel, point blank range, hook shot, and raw being used. Speed, finish him!
Oh my god.
Disruption as well. The living armor was cancelling the damage. Arrow now turns to hit, but it hits the boar instead. Chakram damage Miguel down at 370 life points at 1 point. And Sing Sing is being healed up to get his stick charges off.
That was quite the mistake. Still, really good play. Like Fada, every single time he's positioning his board to try and catch arrows, and he's doing a really good job of it.
Now we see our movement. Bone 7, Sing Sing, Pylai Die. Smoke movement down towards the bottom lane.
This is going to have to be a defensive relocate from Pass just to be able to keep Tiny alive.
Yeah.
They're going to catch at least something here, but
and Tiny's too far away now. Like disruption, catcher.
Here comes
Wisp has to move over, and he's going to drag him out. There's a pull, but he's already got the kill. This is his own life lost. This is going to be a double kill on the bottom lane.
Yep. Because
they killed Soshka too fast, and there's no tier 1 tower to bring the support into. So Bone 7 just waits. The creep wave's coming up, but it's too close in for him to escape with. So Pass will lose his life, and Speed Gaming get 2 kills for free on the bottom lane. I say for free, it costs a smoke.
This is really unfortunate, but something I want to talk about, Feda. Matt actually was the one who did it. They picked up an early gem. They put it on Feda because he's able to scout out some of these wards and throw the boar at them without being in a bad position. But they're going to try and take some map control here. That's going to really increase the capabilities of the Tiny Wisp combo, potentially, because these heroes like Clockwork and Beastmaster can roam around, look for heroes, be able to set up these ganks without Speed Gaming being able to recognize that. And also
Clockwork.
maybe... Oh, no.
Misses the hook shot. Now they know that's down. The roar is still up, but Fader's too close. Chakram will come out. They're looking for Bucking Mad. And now, well, that's a nice little latch in. They managed to pick up Owie, but again, he gets his ulti off. The lead seed as well as Living Armor, keeping him alive. Avalanche will fly over Bone 7. He is the first one to go down. Got one last whirling depth out. But the whistle on the sideline. Miguel, one more arrow to kill him off. And it's not going to be able to get the kill. The toss, as you said, from Soshka, dragging him far enough away that he could not get the last right click in to kill off his teammate. But again, they're trying to bring down this middle lane up against Living Armor. Leech Seed goes out. Actually does it on the creep wave, so Owie's capable of healing as well as the creep wave itself. Sigma may have to really try and force this if they want this mid tower.
You know, you're talking about end-screen results a lot and how the Warcraft 3 original, they had so many good stats. Can we please, Valve, at the very least, put it in the console, you know, the console stats that come out after a game? Yep. Can we see, instead of damage healed, can we also see tower healed as well? So just specifically to see how much this Treant Protector, how many towers worth of health is he keeping alive? I mean, it seems like that Sigma have done enough to kill these tier 1 towers like 3 times over.
Heals to tower, heals to heroes.
Exactly. That's exactly what they need. And it's just specifically a Treant Protector stat.
I'd be interested in that stat. Guys, if that stat does exist, I don't know if it does, because like there's the replay paths of people are pulling mass amounts of information out. Yeah, if you know where to find that stat, tweet us, W1Dota, Dota Capitalist, let us know. Let us know the deets.
I would love that. Paris is actually really close. He's about 120 away from his Aghanims. That's a great pickup, but at the same time, it's not going to change too much. Yes, it increases Tiny's damage by quite a bit, but he's not level 16 yet. He's not that big heavy hitter because he's been ganked so much. He's lost a lot of farming time, a lot of experience time is down the drain. And on top of that, he needs that extra item. BKB is going to be helpful later on, be able to get out of Overgrowth after it's already done, and the eventual Orchid that's going to be picked up by Klinks. Timbersaw as well, a lot of magic damage there. BKB is probably really, really necessary, but at the same time, it's still questionable whether or not it's going to be enough because physical damage, Mirana and Klinks are also going to be able to do a large share of that as well. Look at Klinks, though. He's got double damage. Easy Roshan pickup for them, I think.
Not yet. No, that rocket came in, and they're not doing this fast enough. Now the Avalanche connects on 4 heroes. The Chakram Miguel jumps in with the ulti, and they're locked in with Roshan. Bone 7 caught up on the tree line. Roshan still alive. 70-22 life points. Radiant side actually get Roshan. Clockwork takes the Aegis, the Immortal, and Speed Gaming. Like Bone 7's trying to timidate himself away. Pylite Die is locked in the tree lines after his force up. Bone 7 dies at the Secret Shop, and Pylite Die being killed by a ball, but finally the rocket will finish him off. And Speed Gaming, any kind of advantage that they were dragging back after losing that first level 1 fight, has just gone out the window and down the drain.
You know, a lot of Clockworks will save their hook shot because the AoE being able to stun everything around Roshan, try and sneak in the Aegis there. Who needs that when Miguel can go in and kill everybody inside of his cogs before Roshan goes down? Miguel, I mean, that was just, forget about any missed hook shots. That was just a beautiful initiation by him. What a great setup, especially the toss into the cogs as well, set up by Paris. That was just a really good team play there from Sigma. And all of a sudden, they're in the driver's seat of this game. I mean, they're heading gold and they're heading experience. It was looking kind of grim up until that team fight. I saw this sort of eventual Speed Gaming getting a huge gold lead. Tiny never able to farm up fast enough, but now after that, we're going to see towers falling down very, very quickly. This was a huge turnaround by Sigma.
Yeah, they're just going to roll with the punches right now. Even with Necro Books coming the way of Fader, we have the full tree in the hands of Paris, and I hate them for that, in the hands of Soshka. But they're not going to go high ground. They will still give the respect to Speed Gaming. They know if they get caught out by a long 5-second arrow and they're even slightly out of position, they're not going to want to try and fight this. Especially when Envy's doing his little thing.
Oh, that's really obnoxious. Taking down tier 1s like that by backdooring, Klinks is extremely good at that. Also, they have to keep an eye on Courier as well, so it gets pinged out. But Fade at least is able to pick up the deny, so that's something.
Envy, don't waste it. Rune.
Oh, well.
I
mean, that's what he has Soul Ring and Bottle for, so it's not that big of a deal. That's something that this build, you're able to, if you want to, with Soul Ring, you're able to choose to go Blink Dagger over Orchid because you're not that worried about mana because of Soul Ring and it's a combo with Death Pact. But
I'm still worried that he just doesn't have enough.
Yeah.
Like it's like, even with your Soul Ring, even with your bottle charges, you're popping off your Blink Dagger. That's 75 mana to go down the drain. Then you want to pop off Strafe, Searing Arrows, Shadow Walk, your 100 mana just to use your Death Pact every single time as well. His pool is not high enough. It's almost like watching his Doombringer, where he just never has enough mana for Doom.
Yes.
It's one of those things that Envy, I think he just says, like, I can calculate. I can calculate and I can get it. I know I can get it. Like, I have enough mana, I can get my combo off with what I need while still having my bonuses of having, like, a BKB or so on and so forth.
You're absolutely right. It's still a small problem, but he's been able to mitigate it at the very least a little bit. Looks like Paris is going to be going for that early BKB instead of something a little bit more like damage-oriented and push-oriented like an AC. So he's going to be picking up that. He's already got the Mithril Hammer, and after this Tier 1, he's going to be picking up the Ogre Club as well. This is something that's...
It got sniped off finally.
Oh, the Courier?
Yeah.
He finally got it?
Yeah. Eternal Envy was able to find the Courier.
Was there anything on it? I can't...
Yeah, there was a magic wand as well as dust, so nothing amazing. One belonging to Fade and one belonging to Mad.
What is your Courier hotkey?
Minus arrow on the keypad, which unfortunately on that laptop there's no keypad. So good luck on that one. Clockwork latches up towards Owie, and Owie's in trouble. He's trying to get the ulti off. He got the ulti off in time, but Disruption saves him for a little bit longer. Now the lead seat, Owie, he's actually tagging through this. Miguel's going to go down, so the Aegis Immortal will trigger. They toss nothing but illusions. The buyback will be coming out from a Timbersaw right now, while the Tether is still up and running, looking for the swing cleaver. Soshka, got to be careful. He doesn't have a lot of stability. No BKB for him, but the Avalanche toss, 4-star Bone 7, Frostbitten up. He'll go down, Pylite die, 80 life points. Now he does finally take a fall with the Wisp attacking him from range. But Eternal Envy, he's out of mana. He's got nothing left in the tank. And Soshka will just start beating down on top of this tier 1, this Rax. He's not getting any of the heal coming out from the Wisp, but they've now just taken the bottom Rax. And again, we see a pre-30 sec. No, that arrow just... Didn't he just fight out from the throne or something? It was, must be very, very shallow when he threw that one out.
Yeah, and this game all comes back down to that Roche fight because it was so much. It wasn't just the team fight itself and the gold gained and gold and the experience gained from picking up a great team fight and Roche. That's huge by itself, but it was also the positioning, right? From there, they were able to take Tier 2. They stopped the momentum of speed gaming continually picking off heroes. They were able to group up as 5, take Tier 2, back up. They lost a little bit of map control in the process, but they backed up, went bottom, took some more towers. So it's not just about the team fight. A lot of times it's about the positioning, the map control that you gain after that. And this is a great example of this. Sigma has, in one team fight, has turned this into so much more for them. Now they're able to finish off a Rax because Speed Gaming, they're able to get their big items combined with the levels, the bottle given to Wisp, and also the mech choice pick up by Fada. That was a really interesting and smart choice by Beastmaster. Picking up that early mech, it pretty much mitigated what was a really good play by Bone 7. He hit the most beautiful Timber Chain and Whirling Death combo right in the middle of 3 heroes past all of them. It was a great thing, completely stopped by that mech and that Wisp with a bottle tether.
I'm still waiting for Faye to go back. Okay, now he will. He'll walk back. I think he was waiting for the Courier to spawn up, which happens in 15 seconds time. But he's finished level 3 Necro. And that AC is basically done for Soshka. He also needs the Courier once the recipe, when he's got enough money for his recipe. It's just, they're rolling in it.
Did you say the Courier had the Ogre Axe, by the way?
No, that was the first time the Courier died. It got killed with the Ogre Club.
So it looks like Paris basically made the decision after that team fight that he was far enough ahead that he proved he doesn't need a BKB. And he's absolutely right. Like, they're far enough ahead that it doesn't matter. Like, Klinks is having to go defensive items. He had to go a BKB of his own. So there's no Orchid to worry about on a Tiny. There's no extra damage coming out there. So he wants to be able to mitigate the physical damage. So he stops going for that BKB. Instead, he goes for the AC. And this is a really smart decision in changing your item process like that.
Try changing up your mid-ranks. There's about to be some land space here. Sure you can build a condo or something. So right now that tier 3 tower. Fortification's the only way they're keeping it alive. And the rest of Speed Gaming are trying to get back at the moment. But just look at that. Just power him up. Pass is just powering him up. Goes through the towers. The arrow will connect though. It connects over towards the Wisp. And now they've lost this buff up over on Soshka. And now also in through the rear, Envy. He got roared up inside the BKB. If he goes down right now, this fight's over. He doesn't. He's got some space. He's moving back and now turns for the damage, but he gets killed off. The CM will drop the ulti down and almost wipes everybody out inside of it. While you can be sharkening and Tibbetaining away, they mini-stun him. GG is the call.
Oh, Envy's got to be so mad about that one. That wasn't any sort of auto attacks from any of the supports, anything like that. That was Tiny and his gigantic cleave radius. I mean, Eternal Envy turned, thought he was okay, but with his range, no. The tree from Aghanims does not care. It cleaves through everything. Eternal Envy in the back just gets wiped out from one hit from Paris.
A splinter to the eye.
Exactly.
And Envy just drops like a sack of potatoes. Well, end of game number 2. We'll be at least having 4 games tonight coming out for this best of 5 series. The winner of this game will play up against Team Alliance in the grand final, and a date which will be after the EMS. Actually, I believe it's on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week is the scheduled time for the third place matchup, as well as the grand final. So yeah, stay tuned, peoples. We'll be back in just a couple of moments' time.